Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be trying out the new Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Mineral Tinted Sunscreen. I have been so excited to try this. I actually marked this down on my calendar when I saw it on Instagram so I could pick it up and review it. I love to try these kinds of products and I'm so excited to share my first impression and my thoughts with you. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I post all kinds of beauty content, high-end and drugstore here on my channel. I hope you'll subscribe, but let's go ahead and get into my review and first impression of this new product. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna clip my hair out of the way. I was so excited. I got this delivered really early this morning, and at first it was saying, the tracking was saying it wasn't coming until tomorrow. So I wasn't sure I was going to be able to film this video, but I am so excited to try this new tinted moisturizer from Tower 28. So this is the Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Mineral Tinted Sunscreen with SPF 30, and this is all mineral, you guys. So this is 12.6% zinc oxide. It's also supposed to be safe for acne prone skin. It's supposed to be good for sensitive skin. There's no fragrance in it. Actually, let me just pull it up here on Sephora so I don't miss anything. So this retails for $30. You get 1 ounce of product. It is clean at Sephora, vegan, supposed to be a natural finish, and it also says good for acne and blemishes. Coverage is supposed to be light to medium buildable coverage, which is interesting. Natural finish that's safe for sensitive or problem skin. So it comes in 14 shades. I hope they will extend the shade range, although because this is a light coverage product, the shade is not as important, but I do hope they come out with a few more shades at some point. I got the shade Melrose number 15. So this is described as light with neutral undertones. I love this box. It's very, very cute. The back also says it is alcohol-free, fragrance-free, non-irritating, and it has white sage, which says visibly reduces the appearance of redness. Prickly pear, which it says is an antioxidant, and then aloe and centella, also an antioxidant and good for soothing the skin. So it's in this really cute little squeeze tube bottle. And like I said, you get 1 ounce of product in here. Ooh, it's very, very thin. I swatched a lip liner earlier, so that's what that is. This is what it looks like. Ooh, it feels very good. Ooh, yeah, that feels really nice. Really, really thin. I'm excited to try this. So I did my regular skincare and I did apply my daily sunscreen already today. I typically don't rely on like a makeup product like this for SPF, so I did apply that. A little bit about my skin. I definitely have sensitive skin. I'm not really dry or oily, I would say, but I am very sensitive. You can see I have redness, which is normal for me. I don't typically have issues with acne or anything like that. I do have a few like little random spots right now, but that's pretty unusual for me. Okay, so I got some out on my hand here. You can see it's pretty runny. I'm gonna use a brush just because it says you can get a medium coverage with this and it's buildable, and I find things that are this thin, I would definitely not use a sponge. I feel like it's just gonna soak up all of your product. So I'm just gonna dot this all over, and then I'm just kind of tapping what's left on my hand into my brush. This is the BK Beauty 106 brush. I like that this feels extremely thin on your face because sometimes I find, at least with a lot of zinc or mineral-based sunscreens, a lot of times they can be on the thicker side. And I mean, that's good for if you're just putting it on your body or something for sun protection, but sometimes if you're putting stuff on your face, you might not necessarily want something super, super thick. And this is very, very thin. Ooh, it's actually giving a decent amount of coverage too. So I'm just kind of tapping in areas where I want more coverage, and then I always kind of buff a little bit in areas where I want less. Hopefully you can see. I can't zoom in any more than this. But first impression, the coverage is pretty good considering I only used a pretty small amount. I didn't use a ton of product, and part of that is probably because I used a brush with this. I don't think something this watery works that well with a sponge. I just feel like it picks up too much product, so that's why I wanted to definitely use a brush. Also, there is no sunscreen smell, you guys, which I love. I do not like when you use products like this and as soon as you open it, you can smell the sunscreen. I don't love that. Don't notice that at all with this. And the finish is definitely glowy, but it doesn't look how a lot of sunscreens look, which is like greasy on your face. It definitely has a glow though, as you can see. Now this does claim to be buildable, so we are gonna add a little bit more and see if the coverage builds up in my cheek area at all, but honestly the coverage is much better than I thought it was going to be. So I'm gonna take a little bit more. I'm just getting it like on my finger. And I'm just gonna add it like to my cheek area because I don't need any more coverage really anywhere else on my face. So this product just came out. Today is the 14th when I'm filming this, and this product was just released on Tuesday. I actually ordered mine online from Sephora, but I know you can also get it on the Tower 28 website. I could not believe I got it today because lately my orders from Sephora have been taking quite a bit of time. I don't know what's going on, but lately every time I order from them, I feel like I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. But this one came really quick. Definitely built up the coverage. Hopefully you can see. You can still see a little bit of redness peeking through, but honestly, it covered a good bit for a tinted moisturizer. Yeah, that covered much more than I thought. Wow, okay. Now I'm just gonna kind of take my brush and go over one more time. So I'm looking up close in my little mirror here. I cannot believe how much coverage this gave. I was honestly not expecting much coverage at all, even though it does say it's light to medium buildable coverage. It looks really nice, really, really pretty. It's still fairly luminous looking, so I'll be curious to see if it kind of sets down at all and takes away a little bit of that shininess that comes with this type of product a lot, but it's definitely not as shiny as a lot of tinted sunscreens, tinted moisturizers. So I am gonna put on a little bit of makeup today, and I'm gonna wear this all day long. I will show it to you on my phone later in natural light as well, so you can see it. And I'm actually going to the gym later, so I'm gonna wear this to the gym, and I will make sure to do a check-in later tonight so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, I'm very, very excited about this, very impressed just based on applying it this one time. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. All right, so this is what it looks like with the rest of my makeup. I did film myself doing the rest of my makeup. I don't know if I'm including it or not, but I did film it. If you saw, I did use the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil Powder to set this a little bit. This is the Sheer Light shade, and it worked really well over this. It definitely did take down the shine a little bit, but it definitely still has a good bit of luminosity to it. And I set my whole face with this. I set my cheeks, my forehead, under my eyes. I set everything with this powder. I've really been liking this, and this looks really good, you guys. I hope it comes off on camera. It is so pretty. So hopefully you can see it is very, very lightweight feeling. It does not feel thick at all. I will say it's still pretty glowy considering I did put that Bare Minerals powder all over my face. I mean, I didn't use a ton of it, but I did use it all over. Sometimes I only set my T-zone. Today I put it everywhere because I wanted to see if it would tone down the shine on this just a little bit, but it is very pretty. If you like this type of product, like a really lightweight, everyday kind of your skin but better kind of product, I think you will probably really love this. One thing I did want to mention as I was sitting here, it feels slightly tacky on my face. Not super tacky, but I'm thinking that most people are probably going to want to set this with some powder. I'm going to take a little bit more and just set a little bit more, mainly under my bronzer and blush, and then just around my mouth, because it is still a good bit glowy, but I love that. So that doesn't bother me at all. The coverage looks so good, you guys, and I did not add any concealer to my cheeks or anything like that. I did add concealer and my Milani under eye tint to my under eyes, but I didn't apply concealer or anything to my cheek area. So I feel like this coverage is pretty good. I really like this. I could see this being something that I start using on a regular basis. So far, so good. So I'm gonna quickly get my phone and go over to the window, and I'll show you what this looks like in natural light. Okay, so I'm standing in front of two pretty big windows, so you can see what it looks like here. I was just looking at it myself in my camera on my phone here, and one thing, they say this is a natural finish. It's not the glowiest product I've ever tried, but I don't know that I think it's a natural finish. I think it's pretty luminous. It's not like an oily luminous, like I said earlier, but I do think it has a good bit of luminosity to it, considering I did set my face all over. But it's very pretty. Very pretty. It's sitting nicely on my skin. Pretty impressed with this so far. I will be curious to see how it wears throughout the day though, because sometimes glowier light products like this can be kind of tricky in terms of how long they last, so we'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna go to the gym a little later this afternoon, and I will definitely do a check-in when I come back, and then I'll do a check-in later tonight and show you what this looks like. Hi guys, so I just got back from the gym, and this has been on for about 6.5 hours now. So I wanted to show you what it looks like. I'm actually very surprised. Honestly, think it looks better now than it looked earlier. As weird as that sounds. I don't know if it's just me or what. I'm just standing in front of a window, but it looks really good. I sweated quite a bit, and I feel like you really can't see that much. I mean, I guess maybe, well, I was gonna say it's like worn off on the sides of my nose, but it really hasn't. It honestly looks pretty good considering I haven't touched up at all. I haven't added any powder or anything to my face, but I did want to show you before I lose daylight. But yeah, as of right now, it looks good. It looks almost better than it looked earlier, which is always a good thing. So I'll see you guys in another hour or so, and I'll do one more check-in with you. But as of right now, this looks really pretty. Really liking it. I'm back. So it's the end of the day, and I wanted to close out this video and show you what this makeup is looking like. It's now been on for about 8 hours, I would say. I have not touched up. I literally have not applied anything to my face since earlier. So this is what it looks like. Hopefully you can see. So I have a mirror over here. So if you see me look this way, it's because my big mirror is right here. It looks fine. Truly, it looks fine. It honestly hasn't rubbed off very much, which I'm very surprised by because I went to the gym and I went on a long walk outside and sweated quite a bit, and it still looks pretty decent. It definitely looks shiny though, but it looked shiny after I had applied it, like right after I had applied it. So the finish overall has remained pretty luminous, especially now that I've been sweating a little bit. But I definitely think if I applied some powder like in my T-zone area, that would tone down a little bit. But other than that, I mean, hopefully you can see it looks pretty good for 8 hours and no touch-ups. So my thoughts on this are pretty good. I love the coverage. I think it's really nice that you can get a light coverage, but with a product like this, you can also build it up a little bit. I think that's really nice. I love also that it's mineral sunscreen. It's all zinc-based, which I prefer if I could choose. I use some chemical sunscreens, but I prefer more mineral sunscreens, just personal preference. The one thing I will say about this is they say this is a natural finish product. I think it leans more on the luminous side. It's not luminous to the point where it looks greasy, but I don't necessarily agree that it's a natural finish. I think it's definitely more luminous, and I feel like if you are someone with oily skin and you don't like to look dewy, I don't know that you would love this, because even when I set my whole face with powder, it still had a good bit of that luminosity to it. So that's going to be a personal preference thing. Other than that, I don't really have anything bad to say about it. As of right now, I think it's really pretty. I'm very surprised it came out this time of year, since we're just kind of now getting into the fall season, but I like this type of product all year round, and I feel like tinted moisturizers, skin tints are kind of becoming more and more popular. So I think it's a really pretty product, and I'm pretty impressed. I'll definitely continue to wear it, and I will keep you guys updated on my thoughts in my next speed reviews video. But that is going to be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. I hope you'll subscribe if you have not already. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I am posting every day in October. Also, if you wouldn't mind, please follow me on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair01. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.